I lived on a cruise ship with 500 other college students for over 100 days. And as you can imagine, it got pretty crazy. Last spring, I embarked on a study abroad program called Semester at Sea, sailing over 14,000 nautical miles across 3 continents. Welcome to my channel. This is the third video in our series, and sadly, the last Asian country on Semester at Sea, India. This was our second leg at sea on the MV World Odyssey, 9 total days long, which was spent celebrating birthdays, waking up early for yoga, making friends around the ship, learning more video tips.
Also, cinematic mode requires you to back up just a little bit.
Yeah.
Roll Tide.
Let's go! After all the boring stuff, Dean Terry introduced Nandu, our interport student who boarded the ship in Malaysia, to teach us about her home country, India. Welcome to Cochin, India. My first day in India was the day of my marketing field class, which is super nice as I don't have to plan anything that day, and I get 20% of my grade through this. So we got on a bus, arrived at the spice market. We went through all of the processing rooms for ginger and nutmeg spices, and essentially learned how the spice gets from there to my local Walmart back home.
Guys, Indian spice market. This is so cool. We're seeing how it works. Take a look. Pretty cool.
We then went to a shop where they actually sell the spices.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Another plus for a field class, they pay for everything. So our professor brought us to a super fancy restaurant in a mall. Next on the agenda, I had to do some marketing field research for my class to see if filtering water bottles would be a good product to bring to India.
Buy just refillable water bottles, like plastic bottles a lot. Like a water bottle that filters unclean water. Because this uses like UV light and filters the water inside it. Do you think that would ever be something that filters it? Really? Oh, why not?
My friend.
You're from England? Yeah. Nice to meet you. What's your name? Luke.
Turns out the idea of a filtering water bottle wasn't too popular, but I didn't tell Mr. Burns, so I didn't have to redo the project. But I couldn't spend time thinking about this project as a train arrived. I'm not even sure Professor Burns knew where we were going, but he looked like he was ready for this day to be over. Our tour guide ended up taking our group to his friend's shop to try to get us to buy stuff. So that's when we said enough and went back to the ship, which of course is full of merchants with fun stuff. They were selling like instruments.
Stack, then wrong. Don't stop like that. Wow.
Once I finally perfected the instruments, I went out that night to explore with Emily, who you may remember from Thailand and Malaysia.
YouTube channel? So, hi for Kochi.
I had another meal with a milkshake, of course, and became friends with some locals who apparently had a badminton game going on. So I invited myself to show off since I'm pretty decent at pickleball. Well, like all new things, there's a little bit of learning curve, but I couldn't embarrass myself like this too long. I didn't have long to celebrate as I had to race back to the ship to pack as I was leaving the ship again in 3 hours. Oh my gosh, I was exhausted. I spent the last 3 hours packing. And then once we got to the airport, we somehow broke the escalator, which should have been the first sign that this trip would be anything but smooth.
Don't know the calculation.
Everyone was running on fumes and just ready to board our first of 2 flights to northern India. Even Sam was super hyped for this trip, despite all his close calls back in Malaysia. And soon enough, it was time to board our first flight and head to the first of 3 cities of the Golden Triangle of India.
Welcome to Jaipur, India. We boarded our field program bus and immediately got hit by some heavy traffic, which seems to be somewhat caused by bad drivers as well as protests going on for New Republic Day in India. As very hungry college students, we insisted on eating now since we had been up since 3 a.m. Also, this is Shubi, our tour guide that Semester at Sea hired for us. And little did we know that this tour guide would cause lots of problems later on. We probably spent more time driving than anything else on this entire trip. But there's a lot to see on the roads, including elephants, camels, dogs, monkeys, and way more. Also, I am never going to complain about St. Louis traffic again. Finally, we arrived at the Jaipur Grand Palace. It was very cool to see, but what was really fun was that the locals started asking us from our group to take pictures of them. So I realized it was my time to shine. So I hopped in every photo and got a bunch of new followers on Instagram. Later, we got taken to a market, which felt like a scheme, as it seemed like the guy hosting was there to sell us something.
Anybody else can't do it.
Maybe I was wrong, and this was just an enthusiastic guy excited to show us how different processes work. But as usual, I was right, because 5 seconds later, we were pulled into a rug infomercial, and I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty good. And right on cue, 15 salespeople hit the floor, trying to sell our entire class a rug. Martha was the first to fold, who bought 3 rugs actually, and I'm a bit embarrassed. I actually bought one too. It was $180, which I felt like was a good deal. My friends made fun of me for it, but I bet their apartment doesn't look nearly as nice as mine does. We all made a few more purchases, but I think the worst one was Sam paying $50 for a very cheap tiger picture thing. And spoiler alert, it didn't make it off the ship. But the night was still very young as we were heading to the Amber Fort for a very notable night that I wouldn't forget.
So cool.
Our jungle tour. Look, it's flooded.
What?
That's crazy.
And to think I went through this jungle 13 days ago in Malaysia. That's crazy how close that was. Back to the story. While everyone was busy taking pictures, I decided to actually be productive with my time and go explore this massive fort. And I even found my way to the second story. But I guess my first red flag should have been me having to use my flashlight to get there, as apparently it was a restricted quote-unquote area. Even worse, everyone finished taking pictures and realized I was missing. So all 30 of them started shouting my name.
3.
Apparently, a security guard noticed, blew his whistle, and started chasing after me. But I'm pretty good under pressure and was able to sneak back into our group and get out of there. Getting arrested in India is one of the few things not on my bucket list, so I had to make sure everything would go smooth this next day as we drove to Agra to visit the Taj Mahal. And at last, we arrived to see my first world wonder. Unfortunately, we couldn't enjoy it for too long as a train was not going to wait for us. So we quickly had to run out and get on a tuk-tuk to get to our bus quicker. And as it turns out, we were 20 minutes early, but we definitely got the full train station experience by seeing all these animals. It was pretty sad seeing how much plastic pollution there was there. Right on cue, the train arrived. Luckily, we had some seats paid for, so we wouldn't be in the standing room like my marketing field class train was. The train would be taking us into New Delhi, and we would pretty much have to wear a mask anywhere outdoors because the air quality was so bad there. And sure enough, when we arrived, it was complete chaos.
Come on this side. Idhar se jana hai na?
And in all the chaos, I broke the only souvenir I got from the Taj. But that was the least of my priorities as we still had to make it to the bus.
Keep moving on here.
We somehow got through this mess, made it to our hotel, which legit had full-on airport security. I also randomly ran into two of my professors that were with another field program at the same hotel, including Mr. Burns. While everything went super smooth today at the Taj Mahal, that luck would not last, as the next day I would test out my negotiation skills. The overall mood the next day was gloomy. Because of the 353 air quality rating, that meant that despite the sun being out without a cloud in the sky, everything appeared dim. After breakfast, we found an optional side quest on the street. Apparently, the cobra doesn't bite, so we had Denny check it out to make sure it's safe for the rest of us.
Here, Danny.
I don't want to touch it.
Yeah, put it around his neck.
It like latches out.
Ready, Danny?
Danny, you got a cobra on you. Oh my god. There's more. Oh my god. Oh, he's coming out. He's coming out.
Once I had enough people put their lives on the line, I finally felt like it was safe.
Oh my gosh.
After that fiasco, we went to a couple other temples, but they weren't nearly as fun as the Taj. Not because of the size or how touristy it is, but again, because of the air pollution that just literally makes everything darker and less colorful. On the flip side, we got to go to a memorial site for Gandhi, and this was literally the place he spent a large portion of his life, which is super cool to be at. We had one last stop on the agenda, and that was a massive marketplace where we would have at least 2 hours to explore, giving me an opportunity to test out my negotiation skills.
Okay, let's do those two.
Yeah, give
These two and then, hold on. You said these are
Yeah,
150, 200, 250.
this is 150, this is 200, this is 200. The three sizes.
Can we do these four for 200?
These four for 200? What do you say?
200.
This 150 each.
Can we do them all for?
You have a wrong.
200 though?
You don't know the calculation actually.
We don't have much money.
And you don't know the calculation, and you don't know the bargaining actually. It is 600.
All right. How about we do 250 and I'll give you guys a shout in the vlog.
No. I don't want in any vlog. If you want that, I can give you 500 last. Otherwise, no.
It's okay. Let's go somewhere else.
This is, yeah. You are in Delhi Heart. Yeah. Try some other place.
Yikes! After getting absolutely rejected, I knew I couldn't give up, so I listened to his advice to find some other place.
I'm gonna get this one.
We should try and do like a bundle deal. So it's,
Oh yeah. We're gonna get this one.
one of the shops over there had these all for 100. Can we do a group deal for the silver elephant and 2 of these?
Smaller.
These 2 for 700.
700 after discount 950.
That might be too much for us. What if we throw in free advertising with the video for 700?
900.
Can we do 700?
700 is a lot. Okay, 850.
I think the other shop might have a cheaper price, so we might come back and see if they'll do
Okay,
it.
7.
7? Yes, we give you free advertising as well.
Free camera?
No.
My gift?
Yeah, we'll send other people your way.
Here you
Sorry.
go.
Not the camera.
This is a camera, not this free. I am advertising.
I'm gonna need 300 and change. 300?
Yeah. No, this camera gift. I 300 back.
He really wants the camera.
300 back?
Yes.
I camera mic.
The camera's a little bit more than 300.
Okay, 5.
Thank you.
Okay, 300.
The camera next time.
Next time, give
Next time, yeah.
Okay.
Alright,
I'm waiting.
have a good one.
Yeah, handmade diary.
No thanks.
Isn't that so cool?
It is pretty cool.
Yes, this is happy drum.
Oh. You're very good at that. You play a lot?
Yeah, play one.
Mm-hmm.
You play a lot.
Other instruments you play?
Yeah.
Can I do one of these elephants and the snow globe for 300?
These
Yes.
300.
Mm-hmm. Can I do this and the snow globe then for 300?
Yeah.
Okay. Both of those for 300?
Yeah, bro.
Okay.
People got word of my award-winning negotiation skills, so Kinsley asked me to work my magic for one of these bags. Sure enough, the price was beyond what we wanted, so I had us pretend to leave, and sure enough, he called us over to sell it for the price we wanted.
Originally they were 1,500 each. We got it down to 1,000 after pretending to walk away. And then say, wait, we'll do it.
Luke knows what to do now.
I'm trying to do 2 of these for 1,000 plus a free shout out for the vlog. How much for the camera discount? For the free advertising? I'll tell my friends to come over here. Can we bring it down to 1,200?
I'll give you the small soap.
Alright, let's do it.
Finally, show her what we got here. I'll show her.
So he was asking for like 900 for this. We brought this down to 500.
Hi guys. So today we came to a market. Luke is negotiating for everyone. So far the people have been really mean, but Luke has handled it very
To celebrate
well.
my hard work, I got an Alabama henna. Even though the negotiation didn't work as well at first, I was able to get a replacement snow globe for the one I broke earlier. Instead of staying in like most normal people would, we decided to make the most of our time in India, and I'd say we accomplished our goal, as this was a night none of us would ever forget. And after lots of debate on where to eat, we ended up at a place that would give us a little taste of home, Chili's. It was one of the best meals I've had, but it definitely came at a cost, as the final bill came out to be 25,000 rupees. Also, Ella accidentally stole this mug from Chili's India. The drive back was super sketchy, but unfortunately, the night was far from over. I got a text that some of the other Sasters were all hanging out with Shubi, our tour guide at the hotel, so I went to check it out, but apparently I was too loud when I walked in. To make things even worse, I accidentally called Lily Laura, which happened to be our program leader's name.
You think my name is
Luckily, everyone forgot pretty quickly as Shubi hit the dance floor and got things moving.
How do we do it? It's like no.
He knows it.
Things were great until Shubi pulled out liquor and had the great idea to take us all to a club. Keep in mind that we were in Old Delhi with air quality where we are strongly encouraged to wear a mask, and our hotel literally has airport security. We pull up to this club in an Uber. Security at this club is insane. They legit checked the trunk of our Uber. This place was massive, and to get in, we walked down some stairs to the basement. We get in there, and there is absolutely no one, and it's close to midnight. It's just us, the DJ, the bar, and lots of workers watching us. So several drinks later, Shubi gets way too comfortable with us. The bouncers didn't like me recording, but long story short, Shubi ended up causing a scene where bouncers appeared out of nowhere, basically telling Shubi that he has to leave. Keep in mind, this is our tour guide contracted through the program. I was literally ready for a fight to break out. After lots of debate, we finally got everyone to leave. Most of us are pretty much ready for this program to be over. But keep in mind, we still have another day of this program with Shubi as our tour guide. Pretty much everyone was in a weird mood the next day. Well, everyone except our program leader Laura, who had no idea what happened last night. But we started off the day with some rickshaw rides around New Delhi, which is just a cart with someone biking you around. I chose Reddit Lily to try and make amends for forgetting her name last night.
Sassas!
We got about 7:40.
It was truly a bonding experience. I even think Lily may have fully forgiven me for forgetting her name, which is great. Or she may have just completely forgot because of all the events that happened last night, but either way, we're all good. After that, we went to a cool photo spot of this unique structure. But it seemed like people were more interested in taking pictures with Clay than of the actual building. He looked like a model, with literally a line forming of people wanting to take a picture with him.
Thank you.
After seeing Clay getting all these cool pictures, I decided to go get some more posing practice in, and I'm not gonna lie, these pictures turned out very well. So shout out Sam Hendricks. We then got some food from this very fancy restaurant, but despite being fancy, half of us almost got sick as they served this undercooked chicken to quote-unquote preserve the softness. And just like that, it was time to go back and fly to Cochin. I was a mini celebrity in the flight back as the flight attendants loved my turban.
It may have been an experience, but it's over.
Despite some of the challenges on this field program, I still had a great time and met some awesome people, and would go back in a heartbeat. It is such a massive country and there's so much to explore. But I still had another entire day in India, well at least until 6 p.m. when on-ship time was. So I hung out with Sean and Cochin, we explored a bit, we ran into a lot of other sassers at a fragrance shop, which apparently had insane deals, so everyone was buying a ton of stuff to ship back home. It was a very relaxing day. I quite honestly needed it after seeing and doing so much in the past 72 hours. Turns out our field program wasn't the only one that went haywire. Apparently 16 out of 32 people got violently sick at the end of theirs, and were throwing up on the entire plane ride back to Cochin. I don't think our group had the only people that are ready to move on, as Mr. Burns seemed a little bit too happy to be back on the ship. Considering how stressed he looked day one on a field program, I'm sure he was ready. But just like that, we were done with India and off to my next new continent, Africa. If you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making this, please subscribe, leave a comment, and like. I really appreciate it. And check out my Malaysia vlog that's also out.
Vlog. Hi.
Next time in Kenya.
As we start doing when we are
yes, this is first time